How's it going today, guys? Hope you're doing excellent. I've got a super important topic for you today. The reason is because it's kind of counterintuitive, and even if you've seen it on one side of the field, you may not have seen it from the other side. The other reason is that you may be hitting your spots perfectly as a pitcher, but those spots are actually not the best spots for this game specifically. And what I'm talking about is when you're trying to hit the corners with any of your pitches, it's actually much worse than trying to hit some other locations. The reason for this is that the PCI is extremely sensitive and it snaps to corners even at the slightest touch. So as a hitter, you can try to track the ball and it makes it a little bit more controlled over the center of the plate, but that can hurt your plate discipline, and it's excellent against pitchers that throw too many strikes. And you can also try to sit in a certain spot, but that's only advantageous when you're ahead in the count. So because of the sensitive PCI, and I've talked about this during some of my streams, is that your analog will snap to the corner of the plate. So that becomes really dangerous against zone hitters that react instead of track. So personally, I'm someone who reacts. So I hit those corner pitches really well. I hit pitches out of the zone really well. But sometimes those low pitches over the center of the plate are actually pretty hard for me to hit. I talked about this in the PCI video as well. So for those of you who use the PCI and track the ball, the pitches over the center of the plate a little bit off center are probably not an issue for you. But I'm also guessing that you are pretty good at hitting those corner pitches as well. As you can see, when the analog snaps to the corner, the center of the PCI, where you get your most solid contact, is actually over the plate. So if you throw a pitch right on that corner, it's going directly to the center of your PCI, and it's going to be hit hard. But now when you see some of these other locations, a little bit off center, high, low, but on the sides, those do not have the center of the PCI over the plate, and you're going to get a lot of weak contact because of that. These are some pitches that I abused during online and ranked seasons, and they really work well for me. This is why I'm able to use the fastball so much without being hurt by it. These four locations right here, where the center of the PCI is not over the plate when someone is reacting to the pitch. And even if you're tracking the pitch, it's really hard to get it perfectly on that spot. Try it for yourself, see how it looks. But for me, I've noticed that when I throw these pitches against hitters, they're not able to do much with them. If you've seen the pop-up video, you notice that I talk about this pitch low and inside, a little bit up, kind of like what you're seeing here. But the other four spots that are similar to it are also pretty effective, not necessarily getting pop-ups, but for getting weak contact and things like that. Definitely effective. So like I said, you guys may have noticed this from the hitting side, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware of it from the pitching side, because sometimes you feel like, oh hey, I just made a great pitch and the guy went yard on me. But this is the reason why, and there's actually a solve for it, which is what I'm talking about. Those four locations there are pretty much going to beat anyone in the game, no matter what type of interface they're using, whether it's zone, directional, analog, if they're using a PCI, no PCI, if they're a tracker, if they like to sit on pitches. These are all going to be devastated by you pitching in these four spots. Now, when you're hitting these spots, they know that you're throwing fastballs for strikes, so they're going to try to look for it. Now you've got some open space over the middle of the plate to miss with your breaking ball as well. Catch some strikes with your breaking ball, get people off balance. It's going to be devastating for them. And to cap it off, here's a little graphic for you about the hot zones and cold zones that I've seen between some of these hitters. This is generally what you're going to see for someone who uses zone. Again, someone who uses directional, generally you want to avoid the center of the plate. And the farther away you are from the center of the plate, the better off you are. But since you can't really tell if someone's using directional or zone until it's too late, you want to try to generally stay in these areas. Also, more people use zone, so you could just generally assume that they're going to be able to hit the corners pretty well. And I didn't mention anything about the dead zones in the center of the analog, which isn't the fault of MLB at all, but because of the way that analogs are created to have dead zones in the center to prevent any kind of noise while you're not actually touching the analog, that makes it harder to hit the pitches a little bit off center. So for me, it becomes a little tough if I'm not tracking the ball. For some people, it's okay if you have the PCI on and you're trying to control the center of the zone. So that's why you can see there are some cold zones around the center of the zone, and then it gets back to being red zones around the outsides. So this is what I was talking about, the counterintuitive nature of this situation, that kind of the outside of the plate is a little bit hotter for hitters than the center of the plate, but it's just part of the game and we have to adjust to it. Not everything can be exactly how real life is, but hopefully MLB finds a fix for this in future years. Right now, it just may be the limited technology. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out my new Twitter page. That's where I'm going to be doing all my updates and some random stuff about MLB The Show. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up Subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends, and make sure you join me for my stream tonight. I stream every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. Tonight we're doing an events run for the Moonshot event. I've unlocked a few immortals, and we're going to play the crap out of them. If you have any questions about gameplay, or if you want to play on stream, I'm down. Just add me at dudefood27. We can play some games, give some advice, talk gameplay, have a good time. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.